Okay guys, we have a lot going on today. First and foremost is the giveaway. I'm going to be drawing for our giveaway winners. But first, I'm going to be sharing with you these journals that I've put together. I talked about these 2 weeks ago in the video then, and in the in-between time we've been off to graduation, 2 different graduations, and celebrating a birthday and Mother's Day and all kinds of stuff. So we've just been hustling and going and having a good time. But as you know, if you were watching 2 weeks ago, we're going to be drawing the winners for our giveaway. Today you're watching it on May 11th, but I am drawing these the evening before. So I want to get to this. It's about 10 o'clock at night and I will still need to edit and upload this video, so I don't want to be too late. So go ahead and get yourself settled and comfy, and then we'll be right back to take a look through these journals, and then after that we will draw our 5 lucky winners for the giveaway. So apologies if I sound a little hoarse tonight. I haven't been talking a lot today. I've been working madly to try to get all of these finished. Because of all the celebrations and stuff, I just haven't had a lot of time in the craft room. So I was really pushing to get these done today, but because it's late, my voice is not going to be in top shape. Okay, so what we have here are the 5 journals that I briefly showed you a couple weeks ago. These 4, this one, this one, this one, and this one, are all made out of books and book covers. This one is made with a large manila mailing envelope as the cover. All of them are one signature. They are pretty much naked style journals. I did add some pockets and belly bands and things here and there, but I've primarily left them blank so that whoever gets them can do their own embellishing and adding their own things. There's plenty of room to write. There's room to glue or paste or whatever you want to do. The one thing that I will not be able to get to tonight is to get all of these photographed and listed in my Etsy shop. So you'll be seeing this video Wednesday, but give me till Thursday to get them listed in my shop so that I can take pictures and write up the listings and stuff for you, okay? That gives you 24 hours to watch this video a few times and decide which one you want. Shameless plug, right? Okay, so let's get started, and I think I'm just going to do them in the order that I created them. Probably will help my brain a little bit. They're all about 25 pages, give or take, and sorry, let me say that again. They're not 25 pages. They were 25 sheets, but that equals 100 pages because each sheet, when you fold it in half, has 4 faces, and so each face is a page, just like if you're reading a book from the library, okay? So there's actually 100 pages in each one. I used 25 sheets to create, 25 sheets of paper to create each of these journals. Now this one, it was a little tiny blue book, but it had a cover on it from the library, and when I started to take that off, it tore the whatever it was that they had as the cover material, and so I went ahead and just covered it with this pretty blue paper, and I just think that's really pretty. And then I added a label here. It is a little bit crooked, even though in spite of my best efforts to line it up and measure, it's just slightly not quite straight, but close enough, right? After all, it is a junk journal. So I've got a smaller mailing manila envelope here as kind of the first page. And what I did was I sealed it off, and then I just opened up the edges and made them pockets. So you've got the one here at the front and one again at the back, and then I just took one of the scraps of paper and just folded it up and kind of made like a little writing space here. Not all of the pockets are stuffed. I just left that to whomever. There's a picture of Socrates instructing his pupils. And then I tried to use just other scraps to make tags and pockets and things. There's a sheet of notebook paper, a flyleaf from a book. This here is wallpaper and an old flashcard. So I want to just kind of quickly go through each one, not talk about them too much. You can tell, you know, I've got book pages. This is a book on Monet. They've got wallpaper scraps. They've got notepads and manuscript paper, like children's writing. There's music, and all of them are different, of course. So I'm just trying to use up lots of the pages and things that I just have sitting around in piles, you know, just pages that I've had sitting around in my stash. Some of them are a lot like what you'll get in my junk journal packs. I have them labeled as a mystery pack in my shop, but they're just a lot of random pages and papers. Oh, this one is another scrap of paper that I just folded in half and tucked inside that pocket. And you will see that each one of these kind of has its own little personality, or I guess, oops, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Kind of like its own personality or own little flavor kind of thing. This pocket's empty. So there you go. The other thing I did not get to was adding my little sticker, you know, my stamped thing that says that I made it. So I'll be adding those inside the journals too. So that's journal number 1. I'll just call that, I don't know what I'll call it, Bluebird journal. Sounds good enough. This one is the one made with a manila envelope, and I've got this gold chevron fabric that I pulled out of my stash, and it has pieces from paper stack. So that's, I took one of them and layered it up on some muslin here and made a focal point for the front, but you'll see a lot of the pieces from that. I'll move this. You'll see a lot of like, these journal cards and stuff from that stack. I can't get it back in because I'm on camera, of course. So I just lined the inside with paper. I ran some crochet trim down the sides just to make it look pretty and tidy. And a lot of these papers have been purchased at thrift stores. This is a pocket. And different places like that. A few are from paper pads in my stash. There's another one of these. I turned it into a side pocket, and this is just plain on the back. Some of them are coffee or tea dyed, and some are not. This particular page, I had folded it one way and then I refolded it. So there's a crease there, but I put a pocket on the back side to kind of help give it some strength. So it shouldn't fold up on you anymore. Everybody is just slightly different, has its own color scheme kind of, and they're almost themed just because of the way I put the different papers together in each one, but they're not. I like this one. It's got kind of, I like how this one folds out, and then I've got this little surprise in here, so it's kind of like a surprise when you're flipping through. You don't expect it. Or if you want, you could always just glue this down and make it a tuck spot, you know, kind of like a pocket. It's up to you, whoever gets it. I really like the color of that book page there. On some of the pages, I've added a little washi accent for the trim. Children's dictionary pages. These were pages, I didn't really know what to do with them. I ran them through my computer and printed lines on the back. But this, I remember when I bought that one, I bought that at a thrift store. Here you go. I did not do the "This Book Belongs To" stamp on any of these, on any of the tags, so none of them have that. So that's what that one looks like. It's just plain on the back, and this one I tied on the outside. I like this black accent. I think it's cute. Next one. And this one was a children's book. called The Wonder of Hands. I only have one page from the original book in here. I left the title and the focal point here the way it is because I like it. And then I used fabric on the spine, and then I also used some more of the same fabric and made a little ruffle. So I added an orange flower there. This one's a little more fancy. Just because I kind of had ideas and kept going. I do have a little blue glue blemish here, so apologies for that. But boy, I had glue going everywhere. It was a lot of fun. This is a different children's book page. I can't remember if I started with 2. I may have taken the second one out. I don't remember. This one, for whatever reason, I worked the longest on this particular one. It was just not coming together for me. This is Fabric Pocket out of that same material, and this was what I was trying to say is this is a napkin, a cloth napkin that I had purchased at a thrift store. And then I have these little cutouts that were also pieces of the cutouts for the journal cards that are included in this. And I had thought about decorating the pages with them myself, but then I decided, you know what, no, let's just cut them, you know, so that they fit in this pocket, and then whoever gets the journal can decide where they want to put them. This is a library style pocket. And as you can see, you've got this pocket here, you've got things back tucked behind, but this was a couple of the tags from the cut-aparts, and I just left them connected so they make kind of like a booklet. And you can decide if you want to punch out the holes or not and add a string through there or not. This is a page from a watercolor painting book, instruction book. I really like the colors, and I like how it tied in with this paper here. But yeah, I really had to keep going over this one a lot and fixing and readjusting, but now I'm happy with how it turned out. So belly band there. A lot of these pages are the same size, not much layering. This is one of the scraps, and I just made it into a fold out so you can have your secret journaling space, and then it's a pocket back behind. I just cut that into a tag shape. This one has one of these booklets, and this one is a trifold. So you can cut those apart if you want, of course. These are just blank. These are pieces from 4x6 paper pad, paper stack, and I just decided I'd add some in here because they were all in the right color scheme. Now this is your center page, and it just says "Squeeze the Day," which I thought was cute. Unfortunately, as I was sewing this thing together, it got a little rip here, so I added some washi tape there that's in the same color scheme, and then I decided to go ahead and add some up here just in case, you know, to prevent anything happening up there as well. And I also then decided to go through and accent a few of the pages with that same yellow washi tape. I think it's really cute. A couple more of those cards, pocket. I really like that washi tape. I put a hand punch as kind of a nod to the title of the book, but this is the only page that I have in here that was from the original book. That little bunny's cute. And this, I just glued it to the side. I ran some washi here for decoration, but it's just a tuck spot here. It doesn't come off or flip or anything. Wallpaper. And then this is a triple stack pocket with some of those tags in it, and then a few sheets of a small notepad. So I just tucked those in there. I liked this flower arranging book, which is actually this. The cover became this journal here, but it had so many pretty flower arrangements in it. So some of these books have pages from the flower arranging book in it. This just opened up. And there's that one. in the end, I like how it turned out, but it was sure testing me. This next one is a gardening book called Perennials, and I really was enjoying the golds and the greens and yellows and all of that, so that's kind of what I went with. This one has paper on the spine outside and then also lining the inside. And on this one, I did not cover the fly leaf or the inside covers because it's so clean. So if you want to go ahead and do that when you get it or add a pocket or whatever, you surely can. They're just so clean, and it's very rare to see such an old book with such a clean interior cover, and I just really liked leaving it plain, so that's what we did. Now I took this crochet trim and I also ran some green ribbon down across one edge, and I think that really finishes off with the picture here. And then look at the back. Isn't that pretty? I thought about covering up the barcode, but you know what? It was more obvious when I tried to cover it than it is just leaving it alone, so I just left it alone. This is kind of a vellum-like paper. It's glassine paper. There's a children's dictionary page and a song sheet from Sunday school class long ago. This is the mulberry paper. And here's another page from that flower arranging book. Isn't that just pretty? Look at that. It's just gorgeous colors. This is a page from a Mary Engelbreit cookbook, one of the last few pages I have. And then I added this belly band on the back, but I don't have anything really to stick in there, so I left it empty. That's a nice big belly band for you. That's wrapping paper, wallpaper. This one was just really fun to put together. And then this is another page from that Monet book. Really pretty colors in that. And then here I just have a scrap of paper and then a scrap of wallpaper. This is from a Martha Stewart gardening book, and I just love the big botanical looking tulip in the yellow. So, and there's Martha. This book is from, I think, like 1982, early 80s, something like that. So there's Martha herself. It was a very interesting book, but it had so many gorgeous pictures. That's what I used it for. Another Monet. And here's your center. Here's a little, just one of those blank pieces of paper. And then the other piece of wallpaper here, I made a pocket. There's nothing in it right now. I do have a few scraps and things left over, but they're not very big. They're left over from making all of these journals, and so where I could, I tried to include the scraps with the journals. This here is a pocket as well, and I reinforced the edge. I folded it over. Look at those gorgeous yellow peonies, or peonies. I say peony. My husband says peony. You guys can choose which way you like. Isn't that pretty? This is piano roll paper from the old piano rolls for the player pianos. And here's another pocket. And on the back side, I just glued this scrap and used some washi tape. The other half of that flower arranging page, mulberry paper, the song sheet. This is just a piece of, I think it was typing paper, old typing paper. And there we go. And then this one just ties shut with this beautiful gold ribbon. And the last one here is the Better Homes and Gardens flower arranging. Now it was a little beat up, especially along these edges. So I kept the original spine intact. I just strengthened it and widened it. So it is, I'm going to put it here so you can see it better. So it's about a 1-inch spine, and this way I actually have the original spine to the book. but because it was kind of beat up on the edges, I went ahead and added some gold to tie in with the gold lettering on the front, and then I've added some gilding around the edges on the front and back, and then I also reinforced the four corners with some book corners. So, and it has this really cute picture of this darling little lady. I think this was 1970 is what it says on the flyleaf. We'll double check if that's in there. If I left it in, because I don't remember. And again, I kept this just plain because it's so pretty. So pretty and clean. There's a small smudge on the back cover, but it's hardly noticeable, and if you want to cover it up by adding a pocket, it's easy to do, so you can certainly do that. I like this scrapbook paper too because it tied in with the color on the cover, and then I had added the piece of chipboard in the center of the spine, so I went ahead and I've reinforced all of these with Tyvek, and then this has the fabric added over the top. So I think everybody, well, 3 of them have fabric. This one's a mix of fabric and the original spine. This one's paper on the inside, and so is this one, because I covered the inside and outside with paper. So a little bit different on each one. There's a pocket, piece of wrapping paper, which I thought was gorgeous. I used that on my girls' birthday presents and everything this year. There's a page from that Martha Stewart book. And then this isn't really anything. It was just a leftover strip from one of the pages, and it was so pretty, so I just added it to extend this piece and threw some washi on there, but it doesn't make a pocket or a tuck or anything. This is a paper placemat. And then here's a beautiful page from the book by Henry Terry on flowers. All of these are his original artwork. Now this, I liked the colors. The poem is Who Killed Cock Robin? So I liked the artwork and the colors, but if the poem disturbs you, of course, you can always glue things over that. And I didn't lay it in here in order. I just sewed the 2 pieces together and made big pockets. But I just liked how the colors worked with the rest of the journal. This has beautiful gold foil. And here's a piece of vellum. There is a crease in this page as well, but I loved the roses, again from the Martha Stewart gardening book. And then I just reinforced it by adding a pocket back here, and this is wallpaper. And here's a flash card. It's a vintage flash card. This is a different scrap of wallpaper. I made it full size, and it has beautiful hydrangeas on it. Another page from this book. And then an Edith Holden page. This one kind of had a little bit of everything, because didn't I don't think I had a page from the Field Guide on Flowers. Double pocket in the center. Most of the time I opt to tie a cute little bow and double knot it in the middle. I like that. I have fiddled around with doing other things, but at the end of the day, I just like the simplicity of it. So most of my journals, you're just going to see kind of a boring knotted thread in the middle. Now this was the short side of that scrapbook paper, and so I went ahead and edged it with a piece of fabric that matches the inside spine. And then here's another scrap. I turned it into a belly band and just added this oversized playing card. This side, the hydrangea is pink. And then again, this was a scrap of paper that I had, and I'd run it through my printer at one point and printed journal lines on it. This is the back half of that beautiful page with gorgeous peachy colored peony. Pretty sure that's what that is. And then I just used some painter's paper and washi tape to cover up this picture on this side, so it gives you good writing space. Here's the other half of the Cock Robin poem. So also a very large pocket. And then this is a pocket here. I just folded this picture back over. So all you see on this side is the beautiful poppies. Oh, that's what that was. That was a poppy. Beautiful poppy, because here's some more of them. But then there's a large pocket here to tuck things into. This was paper I tried Kool-Aid, no, pink lemonade. I tried dyeing with pink instant lemonade, and a lot of them didn't turn out. They were too sticky and gummy, but a few of them that were nice and not sticky I've used now in journals. And that is the end of that one. Okay, so those are the 5 journals, and I will have them up in my shop on Thursday. Not today, the day that you're seeing it, but tomorrow. Perennials. Sorry about the glare, it's nighttime, so we're gonna get some of that. There we go. And then the Wonder of Hands. Okay. So before we move to the next thing, I wanted to tell you real quick what I'm gonna call these when I put them in my shop. So this one, I'm just gonna call it Flower Arranging. This one will just be titled Gold Chevron. We said this would be titled Bluebird. This will be titled The Wonder of Hands. And this one will be titled Perennials. Okay, so in case you're wondering or you're looking for a specific one, that's how I'm going to have them labeled. Okay, so now let's pause for a break, and I will grab my computer and we'll get to the picking of our giveaway winners. Hooray! Applause, applause, applause. Okay, here we are with the page for the random comment picker pulled up, and I fiddled around with it a little bit. I haven't really, obviously I'm not gonna pick anyone yet, but I can filter out duplicate users, which there weren't really any, but it's always good to do that. And then I can filter the comments based on a specific text. I had asked that you put the word graduation in the comments when commenting to enter, and you guys are just so amazingly clever, and it was really fun to read the comments and just see how you could work that word into your comment. And of course you didn't disappoint. It was just very entertaining to read, and of course I got to meet a lot of you who I don't know your names yet because I haven't had lots of comments from you yet, so that was good to get to know you. However, I asked for the word graduation, and I had a few people who used other variations of that. So I tried to go in here and add, see if I could filter it with all of those words. So I tried graduation, graduates, graduating, graduate or graduate, depending on how you enunciate, and graduated and grad. And I tried putting all of those in this comment box, but then when I ask it to get the comments, it doesn't do anything. It just sits there. So unfortunately, I'm not sure quite how to work around that. I think, well, I don't know, because some of those variations, only one person used them. So if I type them in singly, then obviously that person would definitely be a winner, exclusive of all the other people. So it doesn't give a fair chance. So I feel badly because I can't add them all in here, which is weird because it does say text or hashtags. So I don't know how to separate those out. I mean, I could try with commas. Let me try that real quick. Okay, so it was also messing around. I have to put in the URL of my video, which is right there. And then when I hit get YouTube comments, it just kind of sits there. It says unique comments 0. So because of that, I'm not really sure. I think I'm just gonna have to stick with the word graduation. And now see, it says 22. Which is right, because I went through and counted. So now we've got our comments. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna pick our random winners, and also just so you can tell, for full disclosure, I'm gonna zoom in. Look, it is May 10th at 10:29 p.m. Okay, so the first prize was, sorry for the crinkle, prize number 1 is this one that had the book with all of the beautiful art and things that you can use, copy and use in your journals, some textiles, and then my extra ink pad, the Distress Oxide for seedless preserves. Okay, so that's bundle number 1. So let's see who we've got. And then I have my pen and notepad here. So number 1, prize number 1. Okay, so start and pick. Let's see. Oh, look at it go. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And we have Kim LaFontaine. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Kim. Yes, so awesome. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember because she was saying in Canada it's still in winter mode. Hey, Kim, it is crazy here. Winter and basically the kind of weather that we should be having in March, we are still having. And I will show you guys, this reminds me, sorry, I'm interrupting my giveaway to tell you my graduation story. Let's go pick another winner, and then I'll show you guys a picture at the end. Annette W. Okay, Annette W is getting, this is why I can't be allowed to be in charge of things. I talk too much. Okay, giveaway number 2, Annette W, was for the Eclectic Journal Supplies bundle in this bag. It had papers and textiles and embellishments and ribbon. So that was number 2, the Eclectic Journal Supplies. Yeah, so winter hanging on longer than it should, and at graduation on Saturday, I'll show you a picture at the end of what we got to sit through, my daughter's graduation, okay? I'll tell you a little bit more about that after we draw. Okay, prize number 3. Number 3 was the textile bundle, and I threw in some napkins because, well, why not, right? Giveaway number 3, textile bundle. Let us pick another winner. Oh, wow. Okay, Pam, you are lucky winner number 3. Number 4 was this napkin pack with some extras. And this is similar to the napkin bundles that I have in my shop right now. I think this one I'm not sure. It might have some differences, maybe not. Anyway, I showed it to you in the giveaway video, so you can go back and review that if you need to see what's in it. So this is prize number 4, the napkins plus extras. So yeah, you can have a decoupage party and decoupage to your heart's delight. Here we go, winner for the number 4. Michelle Maxey. Hey Michelle, how you doing? You're probably happy to be where you are because it's a heck of a lot warmer than here. We have snow. We've been having snow and hail and lots of rain, and honestly, I don't begrudge it too much because of how dry it always is here. So we need the moisture, and I'm just saying it's prepping me for Scotland so that I'll know exactly what to pack and how to stay dry when I get there. Okay, here's our last winner. Okay, last prize, number 5, is the flashcard game card ephemera set. So number 5, here we go. Pick another winner. Oh, Stephanie Shalansky. Oh, how fun. Okay, awesome, guys. All right, so Stephanie gets the ephemera game card pack. And I have those in my shop as well. If you're interested in how this one looked, you can go there and get one for yourself. Yeah. Okay, well that's cool. Yay! Round of applause, everyone, to our winners. Congratulations, congratulations. So exciting. It's been very fun to to see the names and read the comments and meet more people here. It's just been so exciting, and thank you guys for believing in me and just following along and enjoying the channel, and you know, just joining the gang. We didn't reach 2,000, which was fine because as I explained before, I was behind in my 1,000 giveaway or a 1,500 subby giveaway. So trying to get to the 2,000, and we hit 1,800 and some odd subbies. So that's great. So wow, just fantastic, guys. Thank you. Let me show you real quick, for those of you who need to send me your addresses. I know I have Stephanie's, I know I have Pam's. Michelle, I do not have yours. And then Kim and Annette W, I don't have yours. So let me grab my paper here that has my email written down on it, and I'll show it to you real quick. Okay, so here is my email where you can email me and send me your address so I can mail off your prizes, and I will be getting those out in the mail this week, and then I will email you back to let you know that it got sent out and to give you a tracking number so you can track it and find out when it gets to your house. So that's always exciting. Yeah. So graduation. Well, we went to the one in Portland, and it was rainy, of course, which is expected, and we had a really good weekend. I don't know if I can give you anything pretty to look at here. What can I give you to look at? Like absolutely nothing exciting to look at. Anyway, we went to my son-in-law's graduation first, and rainy Portland, and just, you know, had a great weekend. They took us around to all of their favorite places that they like to eat and stuff. So we did a lot of walking, but we also did a lot of eating. So I think they kind of canceled each other out. But had a really good time, watched Sam graduate. So then we came home, and kids came with us back from Portland. So they've been here. They've been here all last week, and then they're going to be here this week. In the middle of the week, we had a birthday party for my oldest daughter, who turned 28. So we had a big family dinner, and that was lots of fun. And then Saturday, we got to have Camille's graduation, and the weather has been going back and forth as to whether or not it wants to be kind of sunny but cool, or if it wants to rain. Camille sat towards the front. They had everyone just kind of sit wherever they wanted. There was no special order for the procession. You just sat where you wanted, and then when it was time for you to go up on the stage, you handed them a card with your name, and they just read it off, and you walked across. Well, Camille sat towards the front, but they released the graduates from the back forward. So she was almost one of the last graduates. And while the afternoon started off very lovely and sunny but cool but comfortable, the clouds started rolling in. And we had wondered, because it had been raining, you know, all week, and raining in the morning. They're like, nope, it's an outdoor graduation. We're just going to have it. And pretty soon, like, the clouds are picking up and the wind is starting to gust, and you know, they'd done all the formalities and had the speeches and everything, but now it was time for the graduates to go across. And Camille wound up being one of the very last people. And as they called her name, now I want you to understand, I've been praying, okay, Lord, please let it be nice until after Camille graduates. Should have been more specific, because here is what happened when they called her name. Yeah, a whole lot of screaming and running, and truthfully, I really wanted to be into the moment to watch her go across the stage and get her diploma. She's worked so hard, so she was very proud, and I really wanted to see her in that moment get her diploma and walk across the stage. They had big screens on either side, and I didn't want my memories to be video memories. I wanted to watch her and have in my memory the physical memory of seeing her actually walk across the stage and get her diploma. But because of what happened happened. We all started running for the car as soon as the hail came down, and I don't honestly remember any of it now other than hearing her name get called. I don't recall watching her walk across the stage or any of that, but luckily I have video footage from friends and family who will be sharing that with me, but that was kind of a bummer. So anyway, it is definitely memorable. And then we had our party on Sunday for both graduates, had it out at Camille and Jonathan's house. They have a big shop and decorated it up. It was really fun, just a really great weekend, but now I'm completely worn out. So it's fun to get back and reconnect with all of you guys. So now let's do our quotes of the day so I can get to editing and get to bed. So I have 2 of them today in honor of graduations. The first one is from this little quote book, and it says, "The secret of achievement is to not let what you're doing get to you before you get to it." So definitely graduation is a big achievement for both of these kids, and we're just proud of both of them and just so excited to see what's going to happen next. Camille's going to be looking for work, and Sam is going to be starting seminary. So that'll be exciting. So they're there for 2 to 3 more years, probably. We'll see. The other quote comes from my Patches of Godlight book, and it says, "If you take too long in deciding what to do with your life, you'll find you've done it." That's from George B. Shaw. So, yep, life is a beautiful gift. Definitely full of achievements and struggles and things that we can accomplish. But at the end of it all, that's why we call it life, right? Okay, so dear prize winners, please send me your addresses, and I will get these out to you. And until next time, everyone, please be inspired and do something creative today. Talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.